Welcome to Full Scope, a podcast designed to analyze the games that we love, the headlines of music, and the movies we can't forget. I'm your host, Windsor Burns, like my counterpart, Savon Morris. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, man. How's everything in your neck of the woods?
Going good, bro. Back
Going
back at
good?
it. some days we don't
Yeah.
know what we're gonna actually do. Back at it, bro. But we have a lot of topics to get into. Obviously, college football is back. NFL topics and album reviews in the second half. We're going to do a review of how to blow up a pipeline. To start off with Colorado's just a
Mhm.
major upset over TCU and how good they can be going forward. I mean, this was the headline of week one. They were able to win 45-42 against TCU. Shador Sanders threw for a school record 510 yards with 4 touchdowns. Two-way star Travis Hunter had 11 catches for 119 yards. And as a defensive back, he also had an interception. But in terms of just this win, I mean, this is a major statement, obviously, to start off beating the national runner-up in TCU. What were your thoughts on this and also, what they can do going forward to even get better?
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If this is a surprise to you, you
I
shouldn't
haven't paid
watch.
attention.
You haven't been paying attention. You shouldn't watch college football anymore. You should just close your eyes and go to sleep. But you look at what he's done. Him saying that he's bringing his Louis. It's literally he's bringing players from the transfer portal. He's bringing two great players that played at Jackson State with him. Three players: hit Shiloh, Shador, and man of the honor, Travis Hunter.
Yeah,
So we knew that the talent was there. We knew that they recruited really well. We knew that they got rid of the
over
uh,
Gene.
old regime at Colorado. They implement a new facet of overall just bad A playing football imagery. You play good when you look good, you play good, you feel good. That's what it feels like in Colorado now. Everybody is talking. Everywhere you see YouTube, uh, Twitter, well, X if you want to call it,
X now.
Facebook, Instagram. Oh, my bad, not
My
Facebook,
bad.
Meta. Yeah, my bad. It's X now. It's
Okay.
going to give it to you. Um, but I love what I saw, bro. I love what I saw. I love Travis Hunter as an individual and a player that he can play almost 100, well, more than 110
Mm,
snaps on offense and defense
that's so
where
tough.
there's blazing. It's so tough and to play at a high level. He never his play level never decreased.
Mm.
He was high 10. It's just a lot of things that he did. But man, the biggest takeaway, and I'm telling you, he's an NFL quarterback, man. Shador Sanders showed that he can play at the next level. His
Don't sleep on
ability,
him.
his
Don't sleep on him.
do not sleep on him. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's playing in HBCU." That doesn't matter. The amount of accuracy he's had in the past 2 years is bonkers,
Yeah.
bro. These are NFL throws. These are NFL reads, extended plays. We already know he can do that. But the deep ball threat and accuracy is what's is setting him apart for a lot of quarterbacks in the NCAA. And I think his draft stock just went up really, really high. Broke a record first game of the season. Bro, who does that, bro? 500 yards, just a plethora of touchdowns. And I love the play calling that Colorado do. Obviously, their defense is going to have some readjusting, but I think they played well. TCU was not a sleeper team. We knew that they just got, they lost in the national championship. They still have returning players coming back. They still like a good football team. That's why it went down to the wire like
Yeah.
it did. But this game, it's going to be extremely hard. Even the LSU in the Florida State game wasn't as potent and as fiery as this game. Like this
Yeah.
game, it's gonna be hard to
What
just
did you think about the
beat, bro.
LSU Florida State game? Because obviously that was a little back and forth in the first half, but then Florida State just
Yeah,
just took off, and they look like it's going to be hard to run on Florida State, obviously, and also it looks like
yeah.
they can really be a team that's battle tested and one to really be reckoned with.
You know, it, you look at the first half; they can be run on, and I think they got away from a lot of things. The play calling was different. I think the adjustment by Florida State was really, really good. That they were keeping him in the pocket, they were sending blitzes, they were making him throw,
Yeah,
making him beat him with his arm. And I think at that point he was, extending plays, he was chunk plays. They were moving the ball really well in the first half, and then that just ceased because of the adjustments of Florida State. Now you look at LSU's defense has never been this bad.
ever.
They wasn't rushing, obviously he threw it in. Jordan Travis threw an interception. It was an ill-advised throw. Obviously, he made a couple bad reads, but he made up for it. But their defense was not getting pressure. The DBs, normally his DBU looked just like they were in middle school ball. Coleman, well, I think Coleman had 3 touchdowns, and it all was deep ball, jump ball, just mossing everybody. So
Yeah.
I do think Florida State can be ran on, and we've seen that in the first half.
Yeah,
but
the
they
first
did a
half
great job
that. We saw more
adjusting.
of that in the first half. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a great job adjusting though. That defense, they got a lot of depth. The front seven and the secondary play way better than I thought they were going to do. I thought this wide receiver core was going to make a dent into that secondary, but they did a great job adjusting.
Yeah, absolutely. And now getting into Duke's surprising win in performance versus Clemson. Duke won the season opener.
Surprising.
And, well, I mean, I would say the fashion in which they won it was surprising, 28-7. That's interesting that you say why was it surprising, because honestly, the last few seasons, they've been on the uptick. They've been climbing. Yes. They've been improving every year, and I think them winning isn't the surprising thing. I think the fashion in which they won at Clemson, I mean, they've regressed in a lot of aspects, but them winning, 28-7, Riley Leonard, he broke loose for a 44-yard touchdown, and Jarquez Moore added a 9-yard score run. What did you think about this overall? And just, it kind of seems for you, it's similar to Colorado. This shouldn't be a surprise. They've been on the rise, and now they're here
for a while. Yeah. So they'll let the score fool you. 28-7. It was spread out through all 4 quarters.
Clemson was making drives. Clemson was making drives.
There was 2 field goals in the first and second quarter, and then Clemson, score off a mistake from the Blue Devils. I think it was either fumble or it was a punt muffed or something like that. And then obviously they score late twice in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest takeaway, obviously the score is spread across the 4 quarters, but I think the biggest takeaway, the Duke Devils defense looked so good when it matters the most. And I think a lot of people slept on them. They won, I think, 10 games last year, bro. In a beefy ACC conference. Last year ACC looked really good last year. Florida State was on the up and up. Clemson still was holding on to their 9-10 wins. Louisville looked really well. Obviously Duke looked real good. So ACC was very beefy last year, and to think that we knew that Klubnik was going to be just this awesome quarterback. No. We gave DJ such a hard time, and now he's at Oregon State looking really well, look like a well-oiled machine at quarterback. But Klubnik is not ready to lead this team. Right. Yeah, the bowl game, he got in there, he made some big plays in the bowl game, but this is totally different. This is an entire season for him, a entire new look, a team that was a conference game who looked really well last year that he didn't see. He didn't play against them. So all he's seeing is film, but when you get on that field, it's totally different. So now I'm looking at the quarterback situation, and they say, but I don't agree with Philbaum, whatever his name is. Philbaum saying that the dynasty is over. He gets a lot of things wrong that nobody calls him out for.
I know. I've watched Paul Feinbaum for years, and I mean, obviously he's one of the voices in college football media. But I'm like, how many times are we just going to overlook how this guy is dead wrong about things? But we just keep saying, oh, Feinbaum said it? Oh, it's gospel.
Feinbaum, Paul. It's, Paul knows best. No, you're totally wrong. And I don't think Dabo's, his reign is over, because Clemson been playing great football and people want to play for Clemson.
Yeah.
They're always going to do great in the transfer portal and recruit well, because Dabo is a great recruiter.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's the first game of the season. You got a new quarterback. You got new players. You got to instill in these. But I think what I love about Dabo, it's going to take some time. But what I love about Dabo is saying, I still believe. I know a lot of people are counting us out already after the first game, but I still believe in this team. I love this squad. I love this organization. But this should not be a surprise for this. I didn't know it was going to be 28-7. Obviously, it looks worse than what it is because of the.
But if you watch the game, if you watch the whole game, you're like, look, Clemson. They were going on drives, and then they turned the ball over in the red zone. You know what I mean? So things like that can make the score a lot more drastic than what it actually was.
Yeah, but I think they're going to bounce back. They're really going to bounce back.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
definitely.
fun for them.
I left our tradition, the most intriguing college football
Oh yeah.
week 2 game, but I mean, to me, the one that obviously stands out is Alabama Texas because we saw what happened
Mm-hmm.
last year and how that
Mm-hmm.
honestly Texas should have won that game, and Bryce Young has an incredible drive to get them into field goal range. Um, you know, Texas is ranked 11th, Alabama third. And this is going to be an early test for Alabama. Same for Texas, and I think that's going to all eyes are going to be on that game. But to you, is there another game or maybe that one that kind of stands out to you this weekend?
It's a couple games that stand out to me. One is going to be Colorado and Nebraska.
Yeah,
That game is going to be massive. Ooh, I think Colorado has one of the hardest
they
schedules
do. They
this
got
year.
Oregon and USC back to back, right?
Back to back. You got Utah at the tail end, who will still be in the top 25 by the end of the year. There
How
is a
many games do you
line
think
to
they're
look.
winning this year?
I gave them 9. I know they're going to slip up. I think they can beat USC just because of their defense and how they went back and forth with TCU. I think they can squeak by with 9 games, and then the 10th game will come in the bowl.
Yeah,
I think they obviously they're changing heads and making believers out of a lot of people, but I don't think they're just ready yet to say, "Oh yeah, we're going
yeah, we're
we're
going
going
all the
to the
way. I'm
playoffs."
not
No,
doing that. I'm
no,
not being naive.
no, I'm not
The
doing that,
people who are
bro.
saying, yeah, they're going all the way. You're like, hold up. As Lee Corso would say,
Yeah,
not so fast,
hold
my
up,
friend.
brother. Yes, and then I love when he does
Lovely.
that, bro. That's such
That's like the Saturday
nostalgic,
morning
bro.
tradition. College game.
Yes, he's like, hold up, my friend.
That's what
Yeah, he's so older now. He doesn't care what he
he doesn't
says.
care.
Like,
Like, just
bro,
go for
Lee
it.
Corso just who he is. But the second game is USC and Stanford.
Yes.
This I believe they're a rival. I think this game is always good, just especially when they had Andrew Luck. It was always a battle, especially when they had Christian McCaffrey for those
Mm,
years. It was always a battle. So Caleb Williams is finally playing a team I think can match up well with them, and their
yeah.
defense is not as run over. So it's going to be a good matchup. I'm looking for Caleb Williams to continue his success, but I want to see him under fire. Can he enter the rest?
Can he
Because
handle that?
last year can he handle that? Last year we seen like he can get out of certain situations, but at the tail end he doesn't pull through. But I'm looking to see if Stanford can dethrone this Heisman hopeful back to back. I've never seen nobody win Heisman back to back. I would
I
love
was
to
about to
see it.
say that. I've never seen it. And he
I've
was
never
in
seen it.
he had there was this article recently about him and his dad talking about the comments of them being uncertain about hey, like, what if he stays
Yeah.
another year? Like, we've never played for a team that we didn't hand pick. Like, what did you think about that in terms of, because NFL, I mean, that's a different beast. You're
Right.
going into a different environment, and like a lot of people are thinking like he doesn't want to go to an Arizona team where he doesn't know what his future is going to be. Like, what did you think about those comments and his future outlook in the NFL?
Well, that's the flip side of the coin. Now the transfer portal has spoiled a lot of these players, and obviously you picking your team where you want to go to college, but now there's a team that wants to pick you that
Yeah.
you don't want to go to. And we seen a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of players didn't want to go to the team, like Eli Manning didn't want to go to the Chargers. So and then it was a bunch of other players, but that's the one that really like I remember that stood out the most. But man, it doesn't matter what team you go to, you shine, bro. If you're that guy, you're gonna shine regardless.
Put in the
And I
work.
think, yeah, put in the work, turn that offense around. They don't want you to be their savior, but show that you're a quarterback that can turn an organization around or get them from being top 25 to top 15 in passing yards. Like, why are you running away from adversity? Just because a team is not doing so well, like not the Cardinals, and we don't know. Cardinals might surprise us and not be the top 5 pick.
Yeah.
So I think this culture is one of those negative effects of this newfound culture in college football that everybody is being appeased, where the NFL is not doing that. NFL is a business, so you got to get in when you fit in. Now you're gonna. What if you stay back your senior year and you get hurt, God forbid, or your numbers are not that good, or something happens, some scandal or something. So don't
Yeah.
be afraid of adversity.
Oh yeah.
This culture now is really
Running away
giving these
from
play.
that and just
Yeah,
shying away from what you have to face next, because like you're going to have you're going to have tough situations for your future after college. We literally talked about it in our last review with Untold Johnny Football, where he goes
Yes.
to Cleveland, and it's not the same. It's not the same hype and not the same feeling because it's going to be different. You're a professional now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Don't run from that.
Definitely. And now getting to our first NFL topic with obviously the news with the Lions beating the Chiefs opening night, 21-20. Jared Goff threw for 253 yards and touchdown. New Lions running back David Montgomery ran for the go-ahead score late in the game, and Detroit was able to hold on. And this is obviously interesting because even before this game, we were going to talk about our thoughts on Travis Kelce, him being out with the ACL injury, and Chris Jones. I mean, that's the biggest holdout
Yeah.
so far in the season
Yeah.
before Nick Bosa decided to sign his contract. Like, what were your thoughts? Because it was interesting because Mahomes, he was able to make great plays in the first half, and then over time you just saw, okay, he can't really evade the fact that these guys are not the same level of receivers that he usually has, and also more drops than we're accustomed to
Yeah.
seeing. And I
That's
think
what it
that was
is.
really what it is. But what were your overall takeaways from this game?
One, they don't miss Chris Jones.
Mm,
They don't need Chris Jones.
wow,
I
that's a
think
statement.
because and I say this, and I know you're probably going to clip it up. I say this for two reasons. The passing game did not beat them. The running game did. Chris Jones is not a presence in the running game.
Mm,
He's 22 sack guy. He's pressure guy. He's a slim guy who can get, tall, slim guy who can get back to the quarterback. He's never been a real presence
mm,
in the run game. The run game is what beat them. The play action game is what beat them. So the game plan, they would have lost. I want to say they would have lost. He wouldn't have made a huge difference because you look at Hutchinson. Hutchinson was doing everything and above. They were moving around, but
everything.
he still never got a sack. Right.
Mm,
But the pressure does help to, throw off some throws. But I don't think Chris Jones' presence was that needed in that game because the running game is what beat them essentially. And then the play action was working because of the running game. But and yeah, bro, they miss Travis Kelce for sure. Travis Kelce
yes,
is such a presence. It's not because he could do multiple things on the field. It's the game plan that the defensive coordinator
they
has to do
don't.
because he's on the
They
field.
can't figure him out.
Can't figure him out, and they love giving plays for him. That's the whole offense
Yeah.
runs through him. But don't get it wrong, they were still moving the ball. It was a lot of that was the biggest thing. You look at the wide receiver core last year, they didn't have really big name. Juju wasn't really a huge presence. They still had Justin Watson. They just got Sky Moore. They had Marquez Valles Scantling last year. He's not a number one guy. None of these guys are number one receivers, but they won the Super Bowl with this
Yeah.
wide receiver core. Yes, they missed Travis Kelce for sure. The game planning, the defensive coordinator not losing sleep at night because of how are we going to stop him, but it was a lot of drops. That was the biggest thing. Pick six that changes the game. Kadarius Toney played his worst game of his career. I hope he turns it around. But that pick six, that's a touchdown gone, right? The defense was
That's the one
playing
you
really,
really
really
look back
well.
on and
Yeah.
like, if that doesn't happen, might be different.
It, yeah, it's definitely different because the play action was working, but that was the whole game plan. If you, I think they were doing a great job. They started eventually stopping the run
Mhm.
and making Goff try to beat him with his arm, which he's not that type of quarterback. So their game plan was working, and then the pick six happened, and then the drop passes was killing plays like back to back. Kadarius Toney dropped the pass, and then Sky Moore dropped the pass.
Yeah,
They did the same play.
a myriad of mistakes. It was just a myriad of mistakes for them
Yeah.
in the opening game. And I do think like as when Kelsey eventually comes back and they're gonna eventually I believe they're eventually gonna pay Chris Jones and be like, all right, we're gonna let you come back because they're,
Yeah.
they're
Well, at
gonna
least
they're
he was
gonna
at the
fold.
game.
Yeah, he was at the game. He's like, oh, you guys missed
Yeah.
me. So I mean, I
That was
definitely
funny.
I definitely think that eventually is going to happen. And to you, like for the Lions, they won six of their eight last games. They really finished the season strong, and now they're able to beat the defending champs opening night. Like, what do you think about their potential this season? The running game was strong for them, and Goff,
Yeah.
he turned it up in the second half.
Uh I think they are going to lose a bunch of games. And you can clip this up too. They got I don't want to say lucky. And I know, Dan Campbell, I love him as a head coach. He said they were built for this. There was a lot of mistakes that, obviously is part of the game, but their secondary did not look as good as they thought they did. And Hutchinson is going to be extremely gashed if he's the only one
It's gonna be
rushing the
exhausted. You
passer.
can't sustain that.
And we saw that in this game. He was out a couple series, and then they had to move him around. They didn't get any sacks. They got a lot of pressures. Houston came close with nipping at his legs, but he still got it off.
Mm.
So if Hutchinson is the only person that y'all have to rush the passer, and Houston is supposed to be the other guy, and it's going to be a long season for them. And Patrick Mahomes, they play a lot of mobile quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes is only the first one.
Yeah,
So
you got more
they had
coming up. You
trouble.
got more coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. They had trouble keeping him in the pocket. Yeah, they had a lot of pressures. They got to him a couple times to where the throw was off a little bit, but majority of the time, those drop passes killed the drives.
Yeah.
And he was getting out of pocket, he was staying in place, he was getting first downs. Again, this is not the first mobile quarterback and a standing quarterback they're going to play, because they have like two they play in their own division.
Just in your own division, you got to see those guys.
Jordan Love. So they look okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say they got lucky in this game. There's a lot of miscues, a lot of things. If their game plan is running the football and play action, they're gonna get killed eventually.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose a lot of ball games. And that secondary was even without Travis Kelce, they were still. I love Gardner, because he's a Florida guy. He's like, we're not the same team. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, pal. You got exposed. That secondary got exposed, and that the front seven got exposed.
Yeah.
So they're going to lose a bunch of ball games. They're going to have trouble with mobile quarterbacks. They need to find another guy who's going to rush the passer. Rush defense was okay. I mean, Chiefs is not a big running team. They like to throw a bunch of misdirection. They, depend on their wide receivers a lot. Yeah, so a lot of smoke and mirrors. Anywho, I feel like
doesn't fall for the bait. I love it. Savon doesn't fall for the bait. Everybody's like, Lions, watch out.
No,
like,
absolutely not.
Come on.
Hutchinson, bro, he was out for like 2 series, bro, because he was so gassed.
He was gassed.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find another rush the passer. Yeah, I don't understand why other people haven't like said this. Full scope is the first one,
guys.
Boom, baby,
where you need to go to first. And now moving on to our next topic. What team in the NFL will be kind of a surprise team this season? And the Steelers really stand out to me because they made a lot of moves this offseason. Kenny Pickett has progressed a lot. They also rebuilt their linebacker group, cornerback group, and offensive line. And I feel as they play fundamentally sound football, and the defense has gotten more solid. If you have a quarterback who can kind of play mistake-free football at times, that can accumulate wins. And I think they can be one of those teams. The AFC North to me is the best. I was talking to Mr. Recco Battles about this about a week ago. I think that's the best division in football. You got the Browns, you got the Ravens, the Steelers as well, and the Bengals. I feel as though that it's going to be such a tough division because some people think 3 teams can get in the playoffs out of that specific division, and that would be extremely packed. So I think that one's going to be very interesting to see who comes on top of that division. But to you, who do you think it could be the surprise team this year?
Yeah, that was very interesting. AFC North is the best division.
I think it is. I think it is.
Hey,
we'll see though. This is the week 1, that's so we're getting off our hot takes for the season, and by the end, it may look horrible. Say,
yeah, but I like the confidence. Anywho, I think that's a good thing to say. I just don't, because I'm a bit biased.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to say my yeah. I'm not going to say my team who's going to be the most, team that's going to surprise a lot of people.
They should be competitive too, though.
Yeah, for sure. I have faith in Jordan Love. But anywho, I think the Seattle Seahawks is going to surprise a lot of people. They, like you said with the Steelers, they answer a lot of questions. They got the secondary refurbished. They got a lot of defensive line, rotating in and out. They got some depth, but I love the wide receiver core they went and got. The running game was already answered with Kenneth Walker,
Yeah.
and then you still have Tyler Lucky. You go get Jackson. You get Jake Bobo. The offensive line is better. Damian Lewis is still banged up, but he's still ready to play. Your first game of the season is against the Rams, who has one of the best defensive line core in the National Football League.
Right.
So this is the test. I think you guys can beat them. I don't think Matthew Stafford is ready to play. I think their wide receiver core has hit a dip. Cooper Kupp is not Cooper Kupp anymore, like we said last year. It's a difference to keep that consistency of wide receivers. So I think the Seattle Seahawks, they made a nice run last year, just came up short, but I think they answered a lot of questions. So I'm eager to see what this wide receiving core is and what that secondary is going to do. They look really, really good.
For sure.
So I'm ready. Yeah.
Absolutely. And to you, for week one, getting into like the most intriguing first game, Bengals and Browns is one that stands out to me. I feel as though that could be an interesting matchup to start off a division.
Yeah.
The division matchups in week one are always interesting. To you, is there a certain matchup that kind of stands out to you? I can't even forget Buffalo Jets is probably going to be one of the highest viewed
that's gonna be
Monday night
one.
games ever. Everybody's going to be hyped for that one. Is there a particular one that stands out for you?
Cowboys Giants, man. So looking at both squads, just looking at Parsons, man, and how he was in just OTAs and training camp and preseason, he just looked like, ooh.
Yeah.
But Giants offensive line has been better. They drafted a lot of great guys, and I'm eager to go to see what the trenches are going to look like. You re-sign Saquon Barkley. You got some young guys. You get Waller from the Raiders. It's a lot of things, and I'm still not a fan of Daniel Jones getting extended, them drafting Daniel Jones in the first place, but that's neither here nor there. But I think the wide receiver core is good enough, and I want to see what the Cowboys is all about. Dak Prescott, bro, they just brought another quarterback in. Where's your mindset?
Sending you a message.
Sending you a message.
Hey, man.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Clock's running out.
Man. Hey, look, bro. We just paid you.
And have another playoff loss to the 49ers. That's your tradition.
That's bonkers, man. But now it's a new sheriff in town. He's the number one guy, Pollard. Like, it's a lot of things. Is this offense still the same?
Yeah.
Smith didn't look great in training camp. He was getting, it's Parsons, but he didn't look great in training camp. They still don't want to re-sign Martin. They just re-signed one of their Stan Martin or give him a new contract, but they just re-signed another offensive lineman. So is this offensive line still the same? Can Pollard be that number one guy? I know he's an every down back, but can he be that number one guy consistently for 16 games? Well, 17 games, excuse me. So I think that matchup is going to be really, really good. It is a division rival. I'm loving this week one. It's a bunch of great games.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good week. And Packers Bears just to start off week.
See, I didn't want to be biased.
Yeah, but I had to mention. I know you didn't want to, but I had to mention that's going to be
Man, I can't wait for that game.
Yeah,
we're going to shock a lot of people.
Definitely. And now moving on to thoughts on Nick Bosa becoming the highest paid defensive player. The 49ers and Bosa have agreed to a 5-year, $170 million extension that will make him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. And the extension includes $122.5 million guaranteed. I feel as though everybody knew they know how valuable Nick Bosa is. That's the guy you have to have. What did you think about this news, and also what Nick Bosa can do? What he always does for this for San Francisco, and how the 49ers can look this year.
So 1 year, obviously we know 2020 he didn't play, got injured. But his first year he had 9 sacks as a rookie. And then this year he comes back off the injury, 15 and a half sacks, 18 and a half sacks. So he's steady climbing, and he's going to be in his prime in about a year or so. So he's still not in his prime just yet. He's only been in the league 4 years. So that 5th, 6th year is when you set yourself apart. Yeah, that's when, I hate to use, his counterpart in J.J. Watt. I want to use his brother. His brother's already in his prime. Come on. Nick is just a beast, man. But that's what J.J. Watt was. His 5th, 6th year, he starts, set himself apart. Nick is the same way, set himself apart. So I think it was a great pickup. You need that guy. He's been without him, that front seven won't be the same. Obviously, Fred Warner is one of the best linebackers in the league, man. That man is I don't want, even if I were for him, that's one guy I'm like, bro, I really don't want to block. Like, he's so shifty, but
Yeah.
I think what a play for them to be able to get him and extend him and do a contract, and
Mhm.
everybody was on the same page. He makes their defense better. That defense has been really, really good for the past 4 years since he's been in the league. So I think they're on to something. Offense is going to get there. Obviously, they're juggling quarterbacks. They think Purdy is the guy, but I think that was a great move. But we still need to say, hey, y'all fumbled on that Trey Lance. We're not going to let you slide. I'm with Ryan
Man.
Clark, bro. I'm with
Yes,
Ryan Clark.
definitely.
Why are we giving them, bro? John Lynch, what's going on,
What's going?
brother?
Yeah, come on, John. Come on, John. What's going on,
Yeah, man.
man? Some of these decisions, bro.
It's weird, very weird, bro.
Yeah,
Y'all traded up and then got rid of the man after. Well, anyhow.
shady business. Shady business.
Very shady, bro. That's crazy.
It's gonna be a new 30 for 30 in about 20 years. Why did they change? It's gonna.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I would
I'll
definitely.
watch it.
And before we
Excuse me.
get to our album reviews, dealing with Rich Paul's comments on kind of the
Uh,
hypothetical of the media treating Steph better if he had won the bubble title compared to LeBron's treatment. He recently had this interview on Gil's Arena, and I watched some of the interview, listened to it. Really, really interesting interview, and
yeah.
yeah, I mean, Rich Paul has a lot of business gems. He's a really smart, a sharp and smart guy, and is taking care of a lot of his
Mm-hmm.
agents. But he brought up and I saw the LeBron bias coming in when he brought up the Steph thing because he was like, I mean, what if Steph won the bubble title? I mean, you guys wouldn't have been criticizing him, and so I was
It
just,
was a great point
but it
though.
was a great
Great
point. It
point
really
though.
was though because I really feel as though LeBron's team that 2016 year that Steph won unanimous MVP, they were just like, man, if we hear about Steph one more time, like LeBron just beat him in the finals, like they just felt like they were getting annoyed, but in terms of that public perception, because we know Steph is one of the media's beloved stars and just beloved stars in
Yeah.
general. What did you think about that point Rich Paul made and maybe some of the validity of it?
Why did they have Jennings on there? That's what I was mad at. Everybody else is valid.
Yeah, yeah, and I was Jennings. There was there's like it kind of just like I don't know,
And
man.
he's talking the most.
He
Talking
was.
about,
That's what I
nah,
was saying. He
bro.
was the. I'm like, can you guys chime?
You were trash. You was getting busted up your
Oh
entire
man,
career,
this guy
bro.
was making the most questions, asking the most questions.
Right, bro. You ain't never been to a playoffs, probably.
Come on now.
Yet alone
Sitting
NBA
next to
finals,
Rich
bro.
Paul, and you getting asked all the.
Right, bro. But I think it was valid, bro. I think that title and in that finals in the bubble, I think, like he said, I think it was harder
It's tough.
because of what it's tough. It is. I mean, fans electrified, but Jennings was like not adding to this case and was irrelevant. Fans really don't deter a player from doing anything, bro. They're locked in, man.
Mm.
They're locked in. So obviously fans are really loud. It's not like football where it's a snap count, bro. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? Yeah, it's electrifying when they dunk. It's cool. But I think it was harder just given the circumstance. Man, that was a concentration camp, low key.
Bro,
They were forced to play basketball.
every
Not
day COVID
forced. I hate.
tested every
Yeah,
day.
COVID testing. I mean, obviously, it was
Oh, George
everything they
mentioned it. It
needed.
felt it really felt
Yeah,
like just a confined environment.
yeah, and sometimes that mess with your mental, or you go to the strip club like J.R. Smith did. You leave because they're not used to that. It's a new environment. It was like, oh, the environment is different. It's worse, bro.
Yeah.
You can't leave. If you get positive, you gotta
Oh,
go.
you got to dip.
You
You got
got
to dip.
to
Yeah.
go. So I think the environment was different, but I think it's valid. If they would have won, nobody would have batted an eye. But it's LeBron James. Everybody hates to hate.
Hmm.
Will love to hate LeBron James. And I think it was valid. If they were talking about, oh no, we would nah, bro. If it would have been, oh man, they won it again, bro. It's the dynasty. No, since LeBron won it and they won it in a bubble. Just think about that. They won it in a
Like people
bubble.
make fun of it. They're like, oh, it was the Disney ring. It was the Mickey Mouse ring. Like they diss that title so
Bro,
much. But
it's
I'm like,
insane.
I mean, that was a tough environment to be in.
Locked in, bro.
Yeah. So.
Wayne or your
No
mentor. You don't have
asterisk.
that.
No asterisk in my
Yeah.
opinion. No asterisk. That's still a title.
Yeah.
That's still a title.
Still a title. And
Definitely.
he has,
Yeah,
Lakers
for sure.
all day, baby. Yeah.
And now getting into our first album review with Victoria Monet's Jaguar 2. In her new project, there's a lot of solid down-tempo songs, but Monet's, really at her best when she's having fun and loose with the tempo. Her wordplay is always at a strength, and she infuses it with witty one-liners. And her songwriting to me is always so strong. She's so gifted with it. There was a good mix of songs here. I thought it was a solid project. I feel as though Victoria Monet is one of those people I know what I'm going to get from her, and it's going to sound like quality music. And not saying it's one of it's the best R&B album I've heard this year, but I do think it was
Yeah.
a good album.
I think I enjoyed it. Only one song made it to my library. I thought it sounded like everybody else. She didn't really stand out to me. Like the songwriting was beloved, but it was just like she sounded like every other artist that I've listened to this year and last year. I think the only song I say was "I'm the One." I thought that was a really smooth track. I thought it was really dope. I think I enjoyed it. I don't think it's something I'll go back. Obviously, only one song I say, but I don't think I'll go back and re-listen to
It's not
it.
like Maida's last
Just
album. It's not like what I heard from Maida.
yeah, no, Maida's album was fire.
It's like I saw Joe Budden say it. He's like, it's hard for me to like another R&B album after listening to what Maida did. It's just like
it was so different.
So different. Like I want to hear different.
Yeah. Like it wasn't what I was expecting because of some of the songs in her EP. And I was like, oh my gosh, she has so much range.
Yes.
She's so versatile. It was so many songs. I'm like, wow, she can do that.
Barely
like,
had any.
Her album was saved, really saved. I'm gonna start to become it. And obviously, I always got to give you your flowers, bro. Didn't know about it until you presented her. Now I'm starting to become a fan. I listen to her EP all the time.
EP is fire.
Yes, bro. It's really dope, bro.
I love Maida.
So yeah, Victoria's was it was okay. I think I enjoyed it, but
I'm sorry, Maida set the bar. She set the bar this year, bro. I would be stunned if it's not in my end of the year favorite albums. I would be stunned. Yeah.
It should be nominated.
It should be. Yes, we got to talk about that.
It should be nominated.
Yeah.
I think she's gained that notoriety now to be able to say, hey, she should be up for at least, I won't say a Grammy. Say a Grammy. She's not there yet.
Yeah.
But
you know, have, like, more star notoriety.
Yeah, star, yeah. I think she's enough for some type of award now.
Yeah.
Especially if Joe Budden, who thinks he's just the music genius, one hit wonder. Sorry, battle rapper. And I only know that song because of You Got Served.
I love how when Drake dissed him, he started the song off with the No Shot Pump. he is so
bro. And the funny thing, they talked about the diss, like, bro, who does this, man? But yeah,
I'm not a one-hit wonder. They know all my stuff. He just was going. I was like, that is so savage.
He always uses people's songs against him, especially P. Diddy. Calabasas for PM.
Oh my goodness, one of my favorite timestamp tracks from.
Hey, bro, why does Drake always just implement?
That's
we
talk
about other albums.
We're not even talking.
We go to Drake.
This guy is just unescapable.
Man, I tell you what, these lights are hot, brother. I am sweating.
All of the lights.
All of the light. Boom, boom. Yeah. All right.
And getting started to our next review with the Artist Archives. In this new album, the rising artist from New York, New Jersey blends her stories into kind of like slow tempo and heartfelt tracks. And she's kind of, a newer artist, trying to make her name known in a certain sense and kind of just put herself in that kind of like a different R&B spotlight and just get some notoriety in a unique way. But what did you think about this album? I heard one of her singles, and it's interesting because she does have different types of song structure in it. But I do feel as though there's still room for improvement. She can kind
Yeah,
of expand on things. I think this
yeah.
was a good start, but my one takeaway was like she can there's more things she can work on for future projects.
Yeah, the first song I've heard of her was "Sober." That she
Yeah,
released this, and when you put this on, I was like, "Oh, I didn't know she was coming out with a project." So I do think she has room to improve, but I do think she's onto something with her own sound. I mean, production is similar, but I think her voice and that slight raspiness of her singing,
mhm.
I think it's totally different. It's creating a sound that no one can like duplicate or match or emulate, whatever. I think she's on the right path, but I do believe she has room to improve, especially with I think with concept, she's already there. Her name in itself, and
Yeah,
then also the name of the project. But I think with concept of constructing songs and being more versatile in certain aspects of her music, can definitely she can do better in that. But I think she's on the right path. I enjoyed it. I saved it. The whole what's called. I can listen to it straight through.
yeah. It's a straight through
Um,
project. It's a straight through project.
yeah, it's a definitely a vibe project, and I think yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, okay, these songs are good. Like I think she
Constructed
can
well
get into that
together.
groove. Yeah.
They complement each other.
Yeah. But I
Definitely.
think I think it was solid. Very solid.
Absolutely. And I'll get into our next review with Terrace Martin and James Fauntleroy's Nova. In this new EP, the duo brings us through a smooth listen, and it's a type of project where it leaves you wanting more. And overall, just has a sweeping nature to it and very rich. I mean, this is to me perfect driving music. Music I want to just have on it at any point. I think these two just it just sounded smooth overall. I really like how it sounded. I feel as though it was a good like breezy type of EP, and Savon's giving me that type of skeptical face. So I'm gonna let him cook.
Nah, keep going, brother. Keep
But no,
going, brother.
I felt as though it was a smooth listen, and I like the kind of the collaborative nature of it, and I thought it was solid, solid replay value.
Solid replay value. Now, I mean, I think I love the production and the liveness of it more than I love the main guy's
Okay.
lyrics. I think it got redundant. It was just like low key, like weird. I don't know if
You
you
say
felt
we
that. Yeah, like weird because
because
his
I do
lyrics
like
was
the
kind of
live instrumentation. Like you mentioned that the live instrumentation of it. I think that was one of the
was
main.
really
That was
dope.
so fire, and that
When the
we always
first
say that we
song,
want more
yeah,
artists to do that, and they did that.
yeah, that was amazing. It was just I can get like funky with his lyrics and like how he brung the song to together in a sense. But I love the live instrumentation, the beat, like the production of it. I think James is such a underrated singer
So good,
and
man.
an artist. But the other guys, I think what I wasn't gelling with, I didn't like his style.
So
It
you
just
would have
was.
kind of preferred like a solo James Fauntleroy project.
I don't think he would have been. I don't think
I
with
don't know
that
if he would have been
production
as
would have
good.
been.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have been as
Yeah,
good because
no.
I kind of
I
want like a
think
solo James Fauntleroy with like just a
yeah.
traditional R&B feel to it, and it's been a
Have
while.
we ever?
I
Does
don't
he?
think
Did
he
he
even
release
have a
that?
solo James
Yeah, he's
Fauntleroy album.
always
He's always killing
like
features, but I'm like,
collabing.
can you just give
Yeah,
us something by yourself?
something. Are you afraid, brother? Can you do it? Uh, but no, I just was a vibe with the other dude. I can't remember his
Terrence
name.
James,
Terrence James.
Terrence
It was
Martin,
just like
Terrence Martin. Sorry,
Terrence.
Terrence.
Terrence James. No, no, no. Terrence Martin. Terrence Martin.
Yo, we have been. There's so many albums where I could.
They're running together, bro. But I mean, outside of that, the production was like really good. I
Yeah,
didn't save it though.
definitely. And now getting to our next review with Black Milk's "Everybody Good." This new project is extremely well balanced, and Black Milk uses every feature to its maximum usage. The contributions in the sonic direction were a perfect match throughout. And I feel as though this was a really good project. I think the songs were structured very well together. It felt like the type of album where it takes some more time to listen to like fully understand everything. I think Fonte had an amazing feature. I feel as though with the guest feature that he had, it was a really high level verse. But to you, what did you think about this project and just some of the features that were on it and how it sounded, from start to end?
So I thought it was dope. I think it was the instrumentation, the beat, the production was really good. I love the flow of the album.
Yeah, it
I
flowed real
think it
good.
got I think it got better at the tail end, where the features are more heavy. Like I love the feature with Mick Jenkins. I love that. There is, yeah, I think that the second half of the project is 12 songs, but I think the second half of the project was better than the first half. But I love the funkiness of it. Yeah, this is something like a vibe. Like you can ride around in it, you can play it and just let it vibe out, listen to it straight through. I only listened to it once. That was last week, so I'm gonna try to listen to it again to see if it has the same effect. So, but for right now, I liked it. I didn't know dude was named Black Milk. Okay.
I was thinking
All
like
right.
Savon's gonna be like, oh, that's interesting, interesting artist name.
Black Milk. Oh yeah. Yep. That's what we want.
Not
We want
chocolate
some
milk.
black milk. Not chocolate.
I was about to say the name was right there for you, bro.
Is this on
It's
chocolate milk, sir? Black
black
milk.
milk. Like tar.
Oh. It is no milk in sight of this thing. Just you standing awkwardly. Oh, sorry.
Don't copyright this black milk.
That's interesting.
Man, and I'll get into our next review with Gucci Mane and J. Cole and Michael made it. There I go. In this new single, there's subtle punchlines thrown out by both rappers. Old school deliveries used as well. And this is another single for Gucci Mane's upcoming album in October. Bro, I didn't like this single. I didn't like it. I didn't like the single with J. Cole. He never needs to try to do a song like this again. Bro, this was a and a lot of there's a lot of singles that come out that we don't talk about, but when it's J. Cole on it, I was interested. I mean, like how's this gonna sound? I don't need J. Cole to do another single like this again. I don't need this is a throwaway. This is a throwaway one.
I gotta say this, bro. Has J. Cole, well, Axis, has J. Cole fallen off?
Oh no.
Like every single or feature he's done, like that Little Dirk feature, that
Oh, I
song
cannot stand
was
that song.
trash. This was trash. I
Favorite.
went and re-listened to Boss and his song. You were
I
right.
told you. I told
Trash.
you. It was
Trash,
not a
bro.
good song.
His last album,
I liked all of
I
it.
did not like, bro. I did not, and I'm a fan.
Yeah,
He's
I
in my
know.
top
We reviewed a
five.
bunch of it. KOD, yeah.
Oh, I love KOD to
Yes.
this day.
Really good.
Yeah, I
We
gotta
gotta
ask
mention
it.
that. Yeah, we gotta talk about it because I do think when I saw this when I heard about this single, listened to it a couple of times, I'm like, this is not quality. This is not quality lyricism from J. Cole. You expect better from J. Cole. Like I hold J. Cole to a certain standard and a certain tier, and for multiple tracks, like I told you, like even that when I heard that Boz one, I was expecting like something like Tribe or Night Job. Like this is not the J. Cole I'm used to. I know it's unfair to always hold artists to a certain standard, but when you've kind of delivered it, I'm
Yeah,
expecting you to kind of at least get close to that.
exactly.
Now you don't have to be identical
Yeah,
because artists change through time, but at least get close to that. And I don't think he's done that.
that's spot on, bro. If we're saying you're one of the best artists in this decade for the past 10 years, there's a standard.
Yeah,
We hold everybody to it. Kendrick Lamar has been delivering besides that
consistently.
one
Well, the
hillbilly
hillbillies,
song
yeah.
with his cousin.
I wonder if
They're
he
just
drops
doing
that collab
stuff.
album with Baby Keem, if you're gonna like it, because they keep saying that might be the first.
Baby King is nice,
Yeah,
bro.
he is.
He don't get me wrong, Baby King is nice. That song was just
Just
like
yeah, just
extremely
throwaway.
weird. Yeah, they was just playing like, bro, we should just release it, bro. They don't like it regardless. It's us.
Us,
It's you, K
it's
Dot.
us, man. I love when artists do that.
Us, dude. They're gonna love it. But we hold Drake to the standard. Drake, I do the same thing with Drake. One of the last two. That's what I'm hoping for all the dogs. His dad. See, we always
Okay,
come
yeah,
back.
we gotta talk
That's
about
right.
it. I was waiting to see like when we're gonna talk about it. It was announced September
uh,
22nd. He had the old throw. I like how he did that, the old throwback video with his dad singing. What like in terms of the fact that we're going to be getting a couple weeks away, and I like the fact that he didn't do it like the night of or the week of. He did it like, okay, I'm gonna give you guys some time, a couple weeks in advance to build the hype up more. Like, do you like what are you kind of wanting from that? Because we've mentioned For All the Dogs a lot, but what are you kind of wanting from this album a couple weeks out?
So I want the same. He's going to give us the same formula essentially,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But it has to be that the good mood music, that music from Take Care, freaking Nothing Will Thank You, Nothing
It's
Was the
so those are like
Same,
late night
even
vibe, late
Views.
night just
Yes,
drive.
bro.
I would just songs I just can't escape.
I even love the album before all the other stuff. The last
Certified Lover Boy.
Certified Lover Boy. I
Yo,
still
can
listen
I
to
just
that
say
album.
there are so many good songs on that album, like Pipe Down, Get
Absolutely.
Along Better,
Oh my
Famous.
goodness, bro.
What he said about Rihanna, I was like, bro, this is great.
Bro.
He was still
I even
killing it.
started
He was still
liking.
killing it.
I even started liking a song with Kid Cudi on there.
Oh
That's
yes,
a
I am
that's a
like
hit,
that's
bro.
a, even CL. We got to mention his solo albums. You know, I like for the majority of the part have all been good. CLB is really good music. Really good
Yes,
music.
really good music, bro. So we know we're gonna get the same from him. He's gonna give us Houston. He's gonna give us some reggae dancehall. He's gonna give us some like really like freestyle washcoms, just him just flowing for
I
like
understand
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get that like not knife talk, but remorse, was it
The Remorse,
remorse?
bro.
Amazing. He was
He's
just
still
going
dropping tracks like
stupid.
that. He's still dropping tracks like that.
Yes.
Outros like
Give us
the
that,
outros
bro.
like that. Yeah.
This last, I know he's in a realm where I could just like experiment and do whatever I want, but I think
It sounds locked in for this one. He really loves
yeah,
this one.
his pops even said like, bro, I listened to it, I really liked it, because sometimes it's so many stories of him. His dad was like, yeah, you listened to my album. He's like, yeah, I heard it, and he was like, what song? He's like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, son. I didn't listen to
It
it.
was that track losses that he like put a sample of his dad saying something off Darkland demo tapes, and he said,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
hear that one? He's like, I didn't even listen to that album.
yeah. Bro, it's so funny. So, and then I think somebody said Yachty listened to it, and he said Yachty said it was
One
like
of his best
it sounds
verses.
like it's current. Yeah, yeah. So I'm
Bro,
eager,
and
bro.
I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying to assume stuff, but everything we've been hearing about this album sounds like it's really
It's
good.
gonna be,
So we can't assume, but there's been high praise even for like the insider people.
and I think okay. One expectation before we move on, I want this album to dethrone his top three.
It's getting clipped.
Can can, can he do it?
What is his
Like,
top three to you?
oh, Take Care. Nothing Was the Same, and Views, bro.
Yeah, Views is.
Views
I
was
would put
just, he was in a
if you're reading this,
different
it's too late
era.
in there, but yeah, Views is
Yeah.
but that's not an album. Actually, if you're reading this too late, it's a mixtape. But
Yeah. Well, yeah, but no. Actually, we'll put that in there. Nothing. I mean, if it's reading this is too late, I still think that's an album. He was in a different
it
realm
was so
too.
funny.
Views.
He was talking to Noel on one of his radio shows, and if Noel was saying that's not an album, he said no. Jake was like, bro, that's an album. If you're reading this album, he said, yo, they labeled it as a mixtape. So
Which is
it's so
weird. Which
weird.
is extremely weird. I view it as a album
Yeah.
because it doesn't sound like a mixtape. Mixtape monopoly. It's not like mixtape has that overall like that ambiance of it. It's loud. It's so many people talking. There's a lot of songs that don't go together.
And I'm still
Nothing. I
biased.
mean,
I'm still biased toward Thank Me Later as well because that's some
Thank Me
classic
Later is
joints.
definitely
Classic
top
joints.
five,
Yeah,
bro.
classic joints.
You could thank me
I
now.
was listening to that song last night, bro. I just love the
Go
outros. I
ahead.
just love the outros where he's just no.
Shoot the calm, bro. Like
Oh my
I
goodness.
want, yeah, it's so much music that he's dropped, bro.
So
You can't deny how
two
good
weeks
he
out, we're gonna
is
see if this can be in
to
that.
top it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be dope. And now getting into our last review with the Coco O's "Low Key Let It Go." In her latest single, which she co-wrote with Johannesburg Wamberg and features production by collaborators August Rosenbaum and Marcus Gordon.
Excuse me.
This song is about Coco facing a lover who refuses to accept her love, and it's interesting because she has been putting out a lot of singles recently. She's gonna I believe she's going to be putting out a new EP this Friday. So she's been trying to put together a lot of these types of tracks into it and put together like a more concise type of project. What did you think
Yeah,
about the single and kind of what direction her EP could be?
it was okay. Um,
Heard better from her.
yeah, the last couple of things that we reviewed for her was a
And
lot
kind of
better.
slagging.
Yeah, bro, it's not the same. I can't pinpoint it. I think the writing is there. I think the writing. I think, but just
It's
the
how it
whole
sounds.
yes, the production, how it's well, we were figuring it out as we go, right? The reduction, how it's constructed, like her ad libs, sometimes like how she sets up her verses and her chorus. Like I don't know, maybe she could try more freeform. Like sometimes you like I want to hear her do a like a whole EP of interludes. I think she'll be really dope with
She would
some
kill that.
interludes. I think it'd be really dope. But I don't think it's the writing. It's just how it's like put together. How do they construct the entire song, and sometimes how it's mixed and mastered as well. But I wasn't really feeling this one.
Definitely room for improvement for it, and I think that this upcoming week we'll see if she can kind of arrange it in a better way. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back with our How to Blow Up a Pipeline review.